Creativity as a team is one of the most unorthodox battles one can fight. Often, if you're doing something that's more manual labor, the more hands you can get involved, the better, right? Sometimes it's just as simple as saying, hey, can you bring that over here? Can you just continue moving that over there? If we're trying to solve equations and problems on homework for something like math, it's like, okay, you take this one, you take this one, you take this one, right? Because there is a proper solution to those things. When you are doing math problems, if you see an equation that says 3 times 2 equals what, you're going to get 6 if you do it properly. Now, how you get to 6 is different. Sometimes some people may write out the 3 plus 3, some people may write out 2, 2, 2, some people may just do it mentally, some people will do it all types of different ways, but the answer will be the same. Now, if I tell you, hey, I want to make a video game, all right, make me a combat system. That is not like doing 3 times 2. There is going to be so much intricacy into what that really means and how those link things together. Because now imagine our math problems where suddenly if I get my problem and I'm working on my problem and I find that the answer is 28, suddenly that changes your 3 times 2. And so now suddenly instead of 3 times 2, it's like 3 times 2 times the answer of the last problem. Right? And so then each one of the equations suddenly becomes interwoven into this web where no one thing is really independent of the other. You can try to make them independently, however, that won't create a cohesive whole. Things can end up feeling disjointed and messy. The same is for something like a video or for any piece of artwork. All the colors need to combine into something that makes consistent sense and cohesion. If you're trying to make a musical track, the instruments need to flow from one to the next. They need to have some understanding. There need to be some type of rhythm, some type of vibe that you are setting, or else it just feels like chaos. And that's why a lot of times we find the lone artists, because collaboration is really hard when it comes to creative fields. But if you do manage to find a team, find people that the decisions just flow, everyone understands what is happening, everyone knows why it's happening, and that can be a great blessing. But it often is extremely hard and rare to find. And that's why I think oftentimes I find these games, specifically, that feel inconsistent. They feel out of touch with each other. There are a million different things that just don't feel like they fit in the same world. And sometimes it may be the most spectacular looking things, but if you have, like a beautiful Greek statue sitting next to modern art, there's a great contrast there. They give completely different energies, and that can cause some dissonance. And when we have pieces of art that are created like that, they can still be visually stunning. They can be moving, they can be powerful, but sometimes they lose the voice. And so it's really up to us to decide why we are creating what we're doing. If we're creating it because we want to have our voice projected and clearly shown, then sometimes it requires cooking things at a much smaller team size. Sometimes, if we're going for something grand with everything involved, then we do want large teams. But every project is going to be different. I'd read a story how there was a beloved game company, of which I will not name, but their products started taking a downturn. One of the reasons was because of pressures from above to keep adding more cooks to the kitchen. They wanted things faster, bigger, just more. But the problem is with so many cooks in the kitchen, nobody can hear each other, nobody knows what the plan is, and everything just becomes a mess. And so, I think that's what made this little endeavor of mine so easy, is because it's just me. Maybe one day I'll get some more collaborators, some other people involved, but for now it's just me. And that makes it easy. And if you would like to kind of pick up on your own as well, I'll say do it. Give it a shot. And maybe eventually you'll need help, but at least you can start by crafting what it is that you want. Find what it is that you want to do, and then go from there. All right.